Ever have those days when everything that you enjoyed just becomes a chore and a list of things to do, and you've lost your joy? Yeah, me too. So I want to talk to you about it this morning, how the Lord caught me up on that. So good morning, this is Aunt Beth. Welcome to my lamppost. So I have to tell you two stories that underlie how the Lord caught me up. But I like to garden. And but it's been so hot and so rainy that my garden just looks awful. So finally, in this cool space that we had, this break in the weather, I was so excited. I mean, because I have a jungle out there. It's awful. But, and it needs to be mulched to prevent the weeds from recurring. But the mulch is very heavy. The bags are very heavy. So I can only do like 4 bags at a time. So I'd gotten into this rhythm of weed a day and then mulch the next day. Go to the store and buy 4 bags because that's what I can lift and fit in my car. So weed a day, mulch a day. Well, then I ran into a friend that I hadn't seen in a long time, and she'd really been on my mind, and I invited her over. And so all of a sudden I have a schedule because she is a fabulous person, but she's very tidy. And my garden is not right now. And she's also a gardener. So getting my gardens ready in time for her visit was huge. So I put myself on a schedule. And all of a sudden, I wasn't gardening because I enjoyed it and I really wanted to do it, because I like having a tidy garden. It was like, oh my gosh, she's coming over. I got to clean up my act. And I lost my joy, and it became a chore and a list and something I dreaded doing, and it just wasn't happening. And I was really grateful for rain because, A, it makes it easier to weed the next day, but B, that means that day I didn't have to weed. So it just something that became a joy, that was a joy, became a chore and a list and things to do. And then I started thinking about my mom and a story that she told me. And you have to know, my mom was a pianist, and in order to keep herself challenged, she and a bunch of her other friends that were also pianists set up what they called this Thursday Musicale group or something like that. I think there were maybe 4 or 5 women in the group. So they would be working on a piece, and then once a month, they met weekly, but once a month they'd rotate, and if it was at your house, you hosted, but you also played what you'd been working on. So there was some accountability there, and there was a schedule. But the women just loved music and loved getting together. And, it kept them on track, and, a sort of a fellowship of fellow musicians, just enjoying each other and enjoying the music, but also challenging each other. I think that's what church should be like, but anyway. So, my mom told this story. You have to know that we grew up in the Midwest. Snow from October until April, okay, and no sun. So my mom was just laughing the whole day when we got home from school and we had dinner, and she was telling the story about she went over to her girlfriend's house, and her girlfriend threw open the door, and she says, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so disappointed it didn't snow to cover up all the dog poop because I didn't get a chance to clean it up before you came. So her friend threw open the door and welcomed her in. And, you know, the house was prepared and she had prepared the music, the most important thing. And she's just like, oh, well, the dog poop's there. You know, the external miscellaneous stuff that doesn't really matter. But she welcomed her friend in, and I thought, oh my gosh, I need dog poop friends. You know, you just throw open the door and you're so glad to see them, and they come in and they just sort of laugh off all the extraneous stuff. They don't get hung up on the details. But the most important thing is that you've welcomed them into your home and heart. And I thought, do I do that with Jesus? Or am I just trying to clean up the outsides frantically? And it's becoming something I used to love is becoming a chore. So here's to dog poop friends in a good way. You know, things seem so much better and easier when you run your race with joy. And I was thinking about Hebrews 1, that Jesus, for the joy set before him, ran his race. It wasn't a chore, it wasn't a list, it wasn't something he had to do, but he ran his race with joy. So may we run our race with joy. The funny part of this whole story, I mean, it's funny but not funny, is my dear friend, I texted her to confirm that she was coming over this morning, and she wasn't able to make it, you know. She fell and hurt herself, which isn't funny, but so now I have a clean house and almost tidy gardens. So, but you know, the thing is, I want to be a dog poop friend in the sense of having the most important things prepared. You know, a welcoming heart and a welcoming home. Do my best on the details, but don't sweat the small stuff. So I hope this makes you laugh. I hope this encourages you to focus on what's really important. A prepared heart, you know. And do your best on the outside, but keep it a joy and not a chore. So I hope you have a fabulous day and you enjoy this story. All God's best.